my most anticipated film of the year, The Batman, has released. So it's time to go back over every Batman film and rank them worst to best. So welcome back to the channel, everyone. I'm Movie Micah. Share your thoughts on all these Batman films down below in the comment section. What do you think of the new film and how does it compare to the rest of these? This list will include all 12 theatrically released Batman films with Batman in the name. So it will have the Lego Batman movie, Mask of the Phantasm, and Batman v Superman, but not the Justice League films. Without further ado, let's get into my ranking. In last place is, of course, Batman and Robin. Everyone knows this is a horrible film. It's a disgrace to the character of Batman, and it made everyone think he was just a cartoon character for kids. Thankfully, Christopher Nolan revived him again after this, but this film is awful. It's filled with horrible puns, action figure marketing, and constant neon colors, which is just embarrassing to think all of that's in a Batman film. The thing is, it's all very entertaining. So in a way, the movie did its job, but I hate it because of what it turned Batman into. At number 11 is Batman Forever. Yeah, basically just Batman and Robin, but not as over-the-top bad as that. I think there were some decent ideas sprinkled throughout this, but by the end you kind of forget about that, because of how loud and obnoxious the villains are, especially Jim Carrey as the Riddler. I'm beyond relieved that they made a good Riddler character finally in the new film, because this one is once again kind of disgraceful to what the character really is. I see this movie has its defenders and I respect it for sure, but it doesn't deserve a good spot on a Batman list. At number 10 is Batman. Ooh boy, the classic 1989 film disappointed me very much on rewatch. The score and Jack Nicholson carry this film, but they're not enough. Everything else is boring. Joker and Batman as characters are both so dull and uninteresting. Bruce has no motivation as to why he's Batman, and Joker and Batman both just want to kill each other equally as much for some reason. That's all there is. Every character is underdeveloped. The environment of Gotham wasn't as interesting as I remember either. Tim Burton's style was decent, but still not what I prefer. So there's some things I appreciate about this movie, but I personally don't really like it.
I didn't ask.
At number 9, I have Batman the Movie, 1966. Yeah, so this is actually exactly what it's supposed to be. It kind of is like Batman and Robin, where it's nothing like what Batman should be, but this just works better. It's all purposely and distinctly goofy, so while it's not one I'll choose to put on often, it does everything it aims to do, and it is very entertaining. I think if I saw more of the 60s show, I'd appreciate this even more. It's really not bad at all. Number 8 is Batman Returns. I thought this was a pretty big step up from 1989, while still not all that great. Penguin and Catwoman are both acted very well by some iconic actors, but their characters are also really disgusting and off-putting for the entirety of the film. For me, the cast and talent behind this movie all proved it should have been great, but Tim Burton went too far into the weird, dark aspects of the world and made it pretty hard to watch and enjoy at times. Once again, Michael Keaton's Bruce Wayne is the most bland character of all time, meaning that this movie ended up being a little disappointing. It is still the best of the Batman anthology series in my opinion. Number 7 is The Batman, the new one. I couldn't have seen this coming, but this was a pretty big disappointment for me. I was so excited to get a Batman that seemed really focused on the actual character himself, but it was yet another shallow, underdeveloped retelling of the character, which really shocked me. This did not justify yet another new Batman franchise. I don't even really get why they felt this should be made. It's just the same old thing, but darker and really overly long. To me, it didn't justify its own franchise, and it certainly didn't justify its runtime. Now, I will say the environment of Gotham and the cinematography are better than ever, but unfortunately, The Batman let me down by being one of the most exhausting movies I've ever seen. It wasn't worth the 3 hours whatsoever, and I basically felt nothing watching it. In the coming months, I see a lot of people lowering their scores and realizing they gave into the hype, because this really wasn't anything special to me. Number 6, Batman Mask of the Phantasm. Am I wrong if I say this film captures who Batman really is the best? I feel like this is the true Batman character that I've wanted to see in live action for so long. The movie itself is sadly predictable and forgettable, the Phantasm twist isn't that great, and the Joker feels forced in, but I love that it dives deeper into Bruce's regret and why he's Batman. That alone is enough to put it this high on the list. It isn't a masterpiece like some people say, but it is a must-watch for true Batman fans. Number 5 is the Lego Batman movie. I didn't really want to include this on the list since it's so hard to compare, but here it is in the top 5. It's a highly energetic, hilarious, and reference-filled movie that has as much fun as it can with the character and the world of Batman. Also, it has every Batman villain ever, Superman, the entire Justice League, Voldemort, Kong, Godzilla, and Daleks. There were no limits to how crazy the movie could get, and they went all the way. There's nothing really to complain about in this. It serves as a good addition to the Lego movies, and it's a fun take on Batman at the same time. The Dark Knight Rises. While still a great conclusion to the trilogy, it's the weakest of them. It is some of the best Batman moments and best action of all of them, but it gets brought down all because of the Miranda Tate twist at the end. She didn't have to be in the movie at all, but she especially shouldn't have been a twist villain. If Bane was the only villain, it would have been infinitely better. This film has a lot more plot issues compared to the previous two, so even though I think it's just as effective and has the best ending of any Batman film, looking at the full picture, it's too messy to keep at the level of The Dark Knight. What have I done? I just put Batman v Superman in the top 3. I don't know. On this rewatch, I found a lot to love in this film. It's pretty much exactly what a realistic DC world of Batman and Superman coexisting should be. It makes sense that people would react this way to Superman, and it makes sense that Batman and Superman would see each other as villains. Of course, I'm talking about the Ultimate Edition, where motivations are actually fleshed out this time. I didn't like this movie for a while, but after Zack Snyder's Justice League, I think I gained more appreciation for this and Man of Steel. I also really believe Henry Cavill is the perfect casting of Superman, and Ben Affleck is the perfect casting of an older Batman, and they're both at their best here. Stop hating on this film, it's actually very good. My runner-up is Batman Begins. This is the film that gets closest to showing what I think makes Batman such a great character. His no-killing rule makes him seem weak to some, but it's what separates him from the villains he fights against. A common theme in these films is that the villains are often not much worse than Batman himself, but this version understands what makes him a hero. Overall, this is still the ideal, realistic origin for Batman to me, made by one of my favorite directors, and having one of the greatest casts of all time. It's funny, because the first 2 times I saw this, I didn't even like it that much, but now I'm the one saying it's one of the best Batman films. Okay, yep, the best one, it's still The Dark Knight. What a journey it's been with me in this movie. I started out hating it, then I fake liked it for a while, then I hated it again, and now finally it's a movie that I fully love. It's not overrated. It's basically perfect. From the opening to the ending, it's gripping and it never lets up. This Joker is the best comic book movie villain of all time, as he constantly comes up with more schemes to put Gotham in chaos. The villains really take the front seat in this film, since we focus on them much more than Batman himself, but that's what makes it special. What Two-Face represents in this film is fascinating, and the way that Batman takes the fall for his crimes at the end was a genius way to end it. It means that in a way, Joker won and Batman lost, but Gotham survives because of it. So yeah, I finally realized that this is basically a masterpiece, and I'll never call it overrated again. So there you go, that was just my ranking of all the Batman films. I know a lot of people are enjoying the new one a lot more than me, and I'd like you to tell me why you think it's so great down below in the comment section. I don't think it's all that special, but you can disagree with me and make your comment. Thanks for watching, I'm out.